She is utterly incompetent as the Chief Minister of Delhi. She should be ashamed. They are in the business of governance. They're not in the business of nautanki. We needed to take Trump head on because Trump is nothing but a narcissistic bully.
How would you describe your relationship with Gurugram?
My relationship with Gurugram is miserable because Gurugram is miserable. Our government can't manage a goddamn road. Someone said, oh, Haryana mein rehte ho, phir khoon kharaba bhi ho sakta hai. So I said, look, even I don't know where I'm traveling. How the hell did these jokers?
If you become the Prime Minister of a country,
First, I would execute anyone found corrupt. At times, we use satire, we use humor, we use sarcasm. Today, if you're sarcastic, someone will come and biff you because those jokers don't understand.
where every brand is chasing virality,
By using these film actors and cricketers and all these other Johnnies, brands are being stupid.
what are the 3 key strategies you would like to give and advice?
How will you
for your brand?
compensate?
What is the compensation?
I've asked you.
Outspoken behavior is mistaken for your arrogance. Does that happen with you?
Of course, and I don't care. I don't suffer fools. But Jesus Christ was misconstrued, so hum kaun si khet ki mooli hain? Democracy is a screwed up concept. Try as a poor citizen of this country going to the judiciary to get relief. You will never get relief.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us a brand strategist, managing partner of Council Age India Private Limited, who's been on the advisory board of conglomerates like Tata and the Adani Group. I think it's going to be a very interesting session with him because I'm going to hear some sharp insights and some bold opinions and outspoken view on business and branding. And I believe his confidence is often misunderstood as his arrogance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Suhel Seth on DeepTea with Deepti. Thank you for joining us on the
Deepti.
podcast. So, Suhel, my first question to you would be, you've been on the advisory board for biggest of the biggest names, Tatas, Adanis, and many more. And you're an entrepreneur, you're a public speaker, you're a columnist, you've been a theatre actor. So tell me, when you wake up in the morning, which version of Suhel Seth shows up first?
None.
None?
You know, I think it's a misnomer for people to believe that human beings wake up in compartments of either comfort or discomfort. We bring it upon ourselves. I wake up as I would normally do, and I really don't care. And I think life has given all of us so many opportunities to do so many different things that the moment we compartmentalize ourselves, we negate the repertoire that you've been blessed with. So you wake up feeling good.
You wake up as Suhel.
I wake up as Suhel, I go to bed as Suhel, and
Suhel.
I live like the way I do.
All right. Sohail, you've built up and advised so many big brands, and you have built some of the India's most iconic brands. In your view, what actually makes a brand timeless? Is it the emotion, the consistency, or the adaptability?
All three. Look, no one buys a brand, they buy benefits. A Deepti doesn't buy Colgate. Your ultimate desire is to get white teeth.
Yeah.
Or, healthy teeth.
Yeah.
You believe that Colgate, amongst all the toothpastes, offers you that in the best possible manner.
Absolutely.
So the relationship between a brand and a consumer is always through the prism of benefits. What matters is how you communicate those benefits. If I told you, yeah, Deepti, this is a toothpaste, it has X ingredient, Y ingredient, Z ingredient, it won't work. People remember stories, people remember anecdotes. And the problem is, we don't look into our childhood, we don't look into our past, we don't look into how we were brought up. You don't remember your grandmother giving you figures, you remember your grandmother telling you tales. Brands must tell tales.
Stories.
And if those tales are relevant, if those tales are exciting, if they're emotional, if the tales are compelling, you'll remember that. And if you remember those tales, you'll remember the brand. And if you remember the brand, the chances are you will buy it. So it's a very organic, evolving, linear process. The problem is we think too much. I don't know if you've read William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar.
Yes, I did.
In
I went to
that-
the same school as you did, so yes.
Well, which school was that?
Le Matnier, but
Yes,
Lucknow one, of
Lucknow,
course.
correct.
Yes.
So in that play, Julius Caesar looks at Cassius and he says, Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Yes.
We
yes, I remember.
overthink.
Yes.
we overplay our cards. We are always overwhelmed by what we see around us. And we've lost track of the simplicity of life. We've lost track of admiring the trees, listening to bird songs.
True.
Because we're so caught up with,
Caught up
the
in
world, as it were.
yeah, day-to-day workings. Yeah. So, which brand do you think has actually captured the essence of storytelling and tale telling, according to you? Maybe in your history, or
There are so many. I mean, look at Coca-Cola, look at Hero, look at what Jio has done recently, look at
Yeah.
what Cadbury's, Asian Paints. I did a whole campaign for a bread brand, my brother and I, called Harvest Gold. And the title of that was Bakwas Advertising First Class Bread. So what we did was every Friday
Negative.
there'd be a very irreverent limerick, and people loved it. Because people want irreverence. They don't want the status quo.
yeah,
You remember people who are disruptors. You don't remember people who follow one path, studiously and boringly.
yes, correct. You have to be a disruptor. You have to think out of the box. You have to come up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to break the line what everybody has been following, I feel. When you have been advising business leaders, what is that one mistake do you feel that they make the often? Do they confuse marketing with branding?
It depends. You see, if you're advising companies which primarily have a B2B, outlook, a business to business outlook, the chances are that they don't believe in marketing. They believe that, we're that good.
Yes.
But remember, even a TCS went out of its way, and magically so, to sponsor various marathons around the world.
Yeah.
What did it show? It showed a very evolved sense of getting into the hearts and minds of people. Otherwise, you wouldn't know. But because TCS sponsors the New York Marathon or the Mumbai Half Marathon, people know about the brand. And it's
Yes.
actually a B2B brand.
Correct.
It's not that Deepti is going to the market and buying TCS software, but you still remember.
Yes.
And then there are brands like, say, Air India. When Air India came back into the Tata fold, the entire journey was about how JRD began the airline.
Yes.
And what did Ratan Tata say? At that time, he sent out a single tweet which said, "Welcome back home." That says a lot about brands. It talks about how the brand relates to you. And I think that's the essence of great branding and great marketing.
Absolutely. You just spoke about Ratan Tata, sir. How was your relationship with him? I've heard you quoting so many times about his, I heard one of your incidents then when you were asked to attend one of the events in London on his behalf.
So what
with
had
Prince
happened
Charles.
was, it was 2017, if I remember right, and Prince Charles, he wasn't king then, Prince Charles wanted to give Ratan Tata a Lifetime Achievement Award for all his philanthropy and his enormous support for the British Asian Trust, of which the then Prince Charles was the chief patron. And it was all set. It was at Buckingham Palace. Prince Charles had invited people from across the world. And I went, I think, a day or two earlier. And when I land in Heathrow, switch on my phone, and there are 11 missed calls from Mr. Tata. So I called him back. I said, what's happened? He says, I don't think I can come to London. I said, what? What's happened? He says, no, Tito is unwell, one of his dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
I said, Mr. Tata, Prince Charles has organized this. It's you, you're at the center. He says, no, why don't you speak to him? And I met Prince Charles that evening, and I told him, and he looks at me gobsmacked, and then he smiles. He says, what a man. He says, Mummy would be really happy because, the late Queen Elizabeth was a great lover
Yes,
of dogs.
she was, yeah.
That gave you an insight into the man that Ratan Tata was. He embodied empathy, he embodied intellectualism of a very high order, but it's empathy that always scores.
Always works, yeah.
See, there are many intelligent people across the world,
EQ.
but are they empathetic?
Empathetic. The EQ level is something that we should
and do they
have higher.
recognize that we cannot live in a world without empathy? We can't
Yes.
live in a world which is non-harmonious.
Correct.
We can't live through blankets of acrimony. There has to be peace. And the only word that sums it up beautifully in Urdu is sukoon. You must feel a sense of prevalent calm. And that's what Ratan Tata brought to play. He was a brilliant mind. He was a pilot. He was fond of cars. He was a multi-splendored man. In fact, one day I jokingly told him, I said, when I was growing up in Calcutta, we all studied Tagore. And we just didn't study Tagore's poetry. We studied his short stories, whether it was Hungry Stones or Gora or Kabuliwala. I always believed that Rabindranath Tagore was one of the greatest polymaths after Da Vinci. And here was Ratan Tata, who was almost as brilliant a polymath, which means he could traverse a whole spectrum of human achievement. That's what it is. So I was blessed. I mean, people say you shared a very special relationship.
Yes.
Well, that's his to give and mine to receive.
Yes.
So in many ways, I'm grateful to him for having blessed me with that friendship, rather than the other way around and say, oh, he was a great friend of mine.
Yeah, correct. Very well said. And I also have heard that he would allow dogs inside the Taj hotels.
Absolutely.
And he would treat them equally as guests, and he would tell the staff not to bother them.
Yeah, but Deepti, here's the thing. Animals are voiceless.
Exactly.
They have unconditional loyalty. Human beings have conditional loyalty.
Absolutely.
You will always have a quid pro quo.
Yes.
They don't.
They don't.
If you can't care for the voiceless, who can you care for? Whether it could be any animal. It could be a dog, it could be a cat, it could be, anyone. But the thing is, that shows a level of human evolution like nothing else does.
Yes. And I'm so glad he's actually left behind the best of the hospitals, the veterinary hospital.
Yeah, the small
in Mumbai.
animal hospital.
Exactly. That's something I think our city and our country really needed. If today we have a 24-hour hospital where we can take our dogs or our, pets to. Till now, there was nothing available.
What the country needed was an understanding of how to behave with the voiceless. If you go to Park Lane in London, there's a plaque etched in stone which says, in memory of the animals who laid their lives in World War I and II, full stop, because they had no choice. When you go to Hyde Park, you will see a dog trough and a horse trough filled with water. Civilized nations and civilized societies take care of their pets. They take care of animals. Uncivilized societies treat them terribly. So I'm glad that Ratan Tata set an example for so many people to follow.
For so many people. But do you think that the recent drive that was going on...
That was ridiculous. I totally
It is still
rejected.
running.
Yeah, but I rejected. To my mind, I think the Supreme Court made a terrible mistake. It made a human error and a humane error. And I went to town about that, saying that this is unforgivable.
Absolutely.
Because you're locking up dogs and, treating them poorly. Our government can't manage a goddamn road.
Exactly.
How on earth do you think they would treat dogs?
So many lakhs of dogs.
Yeah.
But I read some article somewhere that it is all a planning behind actually starting with dog meat. Is it somewhere related to this? No. It's somehow being planned in a way that,
No,
for trading of dog meat.
Thank God we're not Chinese.
Okay. I saw your recent tweet where you slammed Rekha Gupta about her gesture of pushing water away after the floods. What made you draw that analogy, and what were you actually trying to signal?
Simple, that she is utterly incompetent as the Chief Minister of Delhi. She should be ashamed of the kind of tokenism she has indulged in. And I said it to the LG as well. So it's not that I'm holding back. Before that, I'd slammed the Haryana Chief Minister, who's done a terrible job with Gurugram. And these people need to stand up and be shamed. They are in the business of governance. They're not in the business of nautanki. This was nothing but tokenism. You don't have the goddamn Chief Minister of a state like Delhi taking a broom and sweeping it when people are actually throwing some garbage ki aur karo ji, aur karo. I mean, this kind of ridiculousness. You see, people are not stupid. David Ogilvy famously said, the consumer is not a moron. She's your wife or your husband. So, when you do these stupid things in today's world, you get shown for this. But the problem, Deepti, is as a nation, we are too scared of people in power.
Yes.
But people in power are powerless without the people. The tragedy is
For
the people don't know
by
it.
the people. Yeah. We don't realize that.
No, we don't even realize that, and we don't hold them to account.
Yes.
We treat them with kid gloves.
Yes.
My point is, these jokers have been elected to high office to do some goddamn work. If they want to sweep brooms and they want to do all this tokenism, let them do it in their own backyard. They're not going to run a state by some stupid gestures when you have Delhi today, which is the most polluted city in the world.
Yes. Especially after Diwali season.
Yeah, children are suffering with lung diseases.
Yes.
And these jokers don't care. And you know what worries me is that when the Prime Minister took office on the 26th of May 2014, the first program he launched was Swachh Bharat. But again, you don't expect the Prime Minister to go to every home and clean it. We as Indians, by and large, are uncivilized when it comes to managing affairs outside our homes. Inside our homes, it'll be nice.
Correct.
Right outside our gate, also, it'll be nice. But look at the service lanes, it'll be littered with garbage.
Yes. Correct.
Because we think, यार ये तो मेरा नहीं है, पर सब आपका है, देश आपका है, सभ्यता आपकी है, संस्कृति आपकी है, तो how can you say no, garbage is not my issue?
That's what happens. That civic apathy that you talk about.
Because, and now I'm going to get on to my other pet peeve. Parenting in this country has gone to the dogs. We have terrible parenting. Parents have outsourced their responsibilities. And the reason why they've outsourced their responsibilities is 80% of them are unintelligent and illiterate. You see, literacy doesn't mean you have a degree. Literacy means if you have a worldview. And in that worldview, you can absorb what is right and what is wrong. Look at the way we raise our children, most of them. You know, we raise them as entitled brats. Anything you want, anything they want, you give them because of the alleviation of parental guilt.
Yes.
How many people today, how many young parents, and I don't know, I hope I'm wrong, how many young parents actually read to their children?
Very few.
You know, in our times, if you had a tutor, you would die of shame. It was an admission of both unintelligence and lethargy.
Yeah, you're not able to cope
But
up
today
in the
it's a
class.
badge of honor.
Yeah, correct.
My son has 3 tutors. I mean, you should be ashamed. You should kill yourself.
Yeah.
But they don't. Our schools are pitiable. Today, people go to schools based on, you know, how valuable they are and how expensive they are. Do you even remember your teachers? There was a fantastic film called Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Do you remember that? No. We don't remember our own history. You know, we talk about Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, philanthropy. Who invented, who talked about Dan? Manu in Manusmriti. 3,900 years ago, he talked about Dan, about giving back. We've lost all that.
So do you think there's a fault in the education system?
Absolutely. Our education system sucks. But here's the thing. Education has a finite limit. A Deepti will go to Lamartine Lucknow, she'll go to a college, and boom, it's over. Knowledge is never ending.
Yes, correct.
Our problem is we confuse education with knowledge.
Yeah. Literacy and education is different.
And we
knowledge.
we stop seeking knowledge. You know, when nowadays I don't even talk to young people that much. You know, I'm like, because I think it's a waste of time. But in the good old days, I would always tell them that if you don't have an inquiring mind, there's nothing you can do. You must question.
Yes.
You must disagree without being disagreeable. The ability to debate, the ability to speak, the ability to set context, the ability to quote, the ability to lean on scholarship, all these are missing in large parts of our country. You know, in our times, and it's not that I'm like ancient, but in our times, we took pride in debates.
Yes. You're one of the best.
Well, yeah, but we took pride in debating.
Yes.
We took pride in elocution.
We did, actually.
You know, I mean, we used satire, we used humor, we used sarcasm.
Yes.
Today, if you're sarcastic, someone will come and biff you because those jokers don't understand the difference between satire and anger. So they again confuse the two. But that's again because your parents believe that their children must be gratified by an iPhone rather than by an eye on the world. And when you confuse an eye on the world with an iPhone, you will only have limited data.
Well said. Okay. In today's age of social media, today's era, where every brand is chasing virality. So, do you think the brands are actually losing their core identity for a short-term attention?
Absolutely. Brands are being stupid by using these film actors and cricketers and all these other Johnnies. Ridiculous. If a brand is good, it will sell on the merit of its goodness. You know, many years ago when Sachin Tendulkar was the cynosure of all eyes, he was endorsing MRF. When you did research, people would say, हाँ वो Apollo tires के हैं, JK tires के. The brand is always bigger than the human being because the brand talks to more consumers. So, you know, I'm a great believer in not having celebrity endorsers at
Really?
all.
Why
And
would you
when
say
I
so?
started in Ogilvy, because I think it's a waste, we are paying all your colleagues in the film industry and the entertainment industry large sums of money for not being able to speak, for not being able to walk, for not being able to take a stand.
Yeah.
I mean, see some of the jokers who are endorsing.
Yeah, I saw Alia saying that, sugar is very bad for you on one of the podcasts. And then she's promoting products which have got processed sugar into it. So
Yeah,
that,
but you see, Alia Bhatt comes from an intellectual plane that you and I can never reach. So there must be something deeply intellectual about her ability to distinguish between not having sugar and having sugared products. But that's for Alia Bhatt to handle.
but what about the brands? Shouldn't they be more conscious
I
about
told you,
selecting the
brands are
brand?
stupid, lazy. Marketing directors today are all in the race for virality, as you rightly mentioned. And half these jokers, even in the brand management structure,
Yes.
they actually want selfies with the film stars. They want to
Correct.
invite them over to meet their ugly spouses. They're not there for the brand.
Correct. So
I
you,
know of a certain bank CEO. I mean, I could name them, but I don't want to. I mean, that joker is there at every event where there's a film actor. And one day I told him, I said, you'd be better off running the bank rather than running after these people. But that's who we are. We are a celebrity crazed country.
yes, that's true. That's how people connect to the brand. The masses connect to the brand
Now
nowadays.
tell me, how many public intellectuals in India can you name? You won't be able to name them. You ask a
I can
Johnny
name
on the
you.
road.
I can name you.
I'm just saying, you ask people on the road, भैया कौन सा इंडियन आपको इंस्पायर करता है? जी शाहरुख खान. और कौन सा? सलमान खान. और कौन सा? अक्षय कुमार.
While
I'm not-
coming here.
Yeah, because of Mannat.
Yeah, because
No,
of
no,
Mannat. Yeah,
but
correct.
let
This
me
is
tell
right.
you, it is unfair to blame the Shahrukhs or the Salmans or the Akshays. We must take that onerous task of blame on ourselves. Because this is who we are. This is who we've become. We're easily taken in by, lights, camera, action.
Yes, correct. So you mean to say for a successful brand, of course, the product has to be good. Then the brand should have a story to tell
Absolutely.
rather than having a celebrity face.
Absolutely. Because, and let me tell you, the difference between our film industry and Hollywood is an Al Pacino will never play Al Pacino. But in our film industry, the hero will always be himself.
Yes, correct. Okay, Suhel, recently you went quite viral for your comments about the chaos and the infrastructure issues in Gurugram. And you have been a resident of one of the most premium addresses in the hearts of Gurgaon. And yet you have such strong opinions about the city. How would you describe your relationship with Gurugram?
My relationship with Gurugram is miserable because Gurugram is miserable.
But you stay in one of the most
I
premium
can't help
societies.
it unless the government gives me a Lutyens zone bungalow for kicking their ass. Otherwise, I don't have a choice. By the way, why should I feel apologetic? The government should. Naib Singh Saini and all his Johnnies should be hanging their heads daily in shame. It is their problem, not my problem. I'm paying my taxes. I live by the law. If you can't manage the government, then get the hell out. Give way to people who can. And Haryana, to be fair to Naib Singh Saini, is also being micromanaged by ML Khattar. So the tragedy in our country is, if you perform poorly, you get a promotion. Khattar ruined Haryana, and then he's been taken into the union cabinet. Now, I have to say, I have been perhaps a long-standing admirer of Narendra Modi. And I feel half these chaps are doing him a grave injustice when they perform the way they do as ministers. And my feeling is that they are not only letting the Prime Minister down, they're letting Amit Shah, the BJP, but more importantly, they're letting the country down. No one wants to take issues with them. You know, when I said it, someone said, "Oh, Haryana mein rehte ho, फिर खून खराबा भी हो सकता है."
Seriously, that happened?
You know. So I said, look, even I don't know where I'm traveling. How the hell did these jokers know? It doesn't matter.
Okay, Narendra Modi has a dream and a vision for new India with a goal of modern, strong, self reliant India by the year 2047, corruption free, clean, skilled, startup India, Swachh Bharat, and a digitally empowered country. Do you think we would be able to be there? We would be able to achieve New India by 2047?
Yes. And let me say why. Last week, I was speaking at the launch of Burgess Desai's book called Modi Mission. And Burgess, in that book, has one sentence saying, history will talk about two leaders of India in the same breath, Mahatma Gandhi and Narendra Modi. I paraphrased it by saying, one man will be remembered for giving us freedom from the British, but the other will be remembered for allowing us to be free in order to soar. That will be Modi's seminal contribution. A. B. I think every leader in history, no matter which nation you talk about, comes at an inflection point. When Ronald Reagan became president of the United States, everyone thought, oh, what will Phil back to do? Today, he's remembered, he's cherished as one of the most successful US presidents ever. And I think Modi will go down in history as that special leader. I hate all political parties. I detest them to the core. But I think Narendra Modi has been good for the country, and he's been good for the following reasons. A, every country has to have a sense of identity, and only then will it have a sense of purpose. If you're not aware of your civilizational legacy, you have nothing to be proud of. So what he did as item A is he pulled us out of being apologetic about who we were. Number two, some of the programs that he's launched are path-breaking. And let me give you some, odd statistics. Rajiv Gandhi famously said, out of every 1 rupee that is sanctioned for the poor, only 15 paisa reaches them, which means 85% corruption. Today, what Modi's done using Digital India is 440,000 crores worth of leakage has been stopped.
But you think black money can ever be stopped in a country?
But why blame Modi? You see, this is a great thing in our country. जी डिमोनेटाइजेशन तो हो गई पर ब्लैक तो अभी भी है. मोदी का ब्लैक है कि आपका ब्लैक है? What does it say about our character? What does it say about us as a people?
Correct.
Now, Modi can't come to every home and say, oh, remove all the black, remove all the black. But he has put the fear of God, and I'm totally in favor of that.
Yes.
People who are corrupt, both in government and outside, need to be punished. Except I have a harsher perspective, and, if there's a government officer who's caught for corruption, execute him, like the Chinese do. We have bridges collapsing. We have roads in a pitiable state because there's a contractor-politician nexus or a contractor-bureaucratic nexus, which shouldn't and needn't exist, but it does. And let me tell you, there's an old military nugget. To turn a garrison around would take you about 4 to 5 days. To turn a country around? But what's happened is, he's put the seeds in motion. He's planted those seeds of optimism.
Correct.
And removed the seeds of despair. So I'm a true optimist, and I genuinely believe at the heart of every Indian, there are two things that drive us. A zeal of entrepreneurship and izzat. Salman Khan's father, Salim Saab, once told me, we were walking on Bandra Bandstand, and I said, Salim Saab, क्या प्रॉब्लम है भारत में? इसे सुहेल भाई शर्म गायब है. He said, एक ज़माना था अगर हम स्मगलर के घर से गुजरते थे तो हम कहते थे देखो स्मगलर का घर. आज जब हम गुजरते हैं किसी आलीशान घर के पास, क्या घर बनाया है.
That's the difference.
I mean, and then I asked him, which was your best ever line? And he says, इंसान पहाड़ियों की ऊंचाइयों से गिर के अपने आप को संभाल सकता है, पर अगर अपनी आंखों में गिर गया तो कभी नहीं संभल सकता. We need to correct that. We need to correct izzat. We need to correct dignity.
Self-respect.
We need to correct sense of purpose. Those are the things that I'm hoping for all you young people to do. See, everyone is in this world for a purpose. Whether you believe in God or a superior being or whatever. If you don't fulfill that purpose, it's a life wasted.
If you become the Prime Minister of a country, what are the 3 things that you'd like to change immediately?
A, I will never become the Prime Minister. I don't think, I mean, my mother is no longer with us.
Hypothetically. Yeah.
But, even she wouldn't have voted for me. So, I'll never become
Why
Prime
so?
Minister. So, I don't have any such hope. But if ever.
Ever. Hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah. So, first, I would execute anyone found corrupt.
Corrupt.
Execute means like kill them.
Yeah.
Number 2, I would make India speak for itself, by the way, which both the Prime Minister and Jaishankar have been doing commendably. We needed to take Trump head on because Trump is nothing but a narcissistic bully. And that idiot needs to be called out, and I'm glad we called him out. The third is I would encourage and completely rehash our education system. See, let me tell you, people keep saying, why do you stress on education? It is the most critical thing. And I just wrote an article yesterday, the lady from Lalitpur. Why? Because if you go down to some rural areas because of societal beliefs, the girl child is not given the same education opportunities.
Correct. Female feticides still exist in smaller villages.
I'm saying, unless you change that.
Yes.
And I'm a great believer. I have a 6-year-old daughter. And when I was asked, someone, so son or daughter, what would you like? I said, daughter. You know why? Sons kisi ke nahi hote. A daughter will raise a family.
Yes.
The son will screw it up.
Son is your son only till marriage, while a daughter is a daughter forever.
It's true.
True.
A daughter will take care not only of her parents, she'll take care of society. She will nurture and raise a family. If you don't empower her with the ingredients of great health, great education, a great philosophical bent of mind, then what the hell have you done?
Exactly.
You see, the tragedy in India is, हम देवियों को पूजते हैं, but the girl child is treated miserably.
True. That's the biggest problem in our country. I think the shift has been there to quite an extent.
Of course, again, it's education.
It's education, correct.
Look at the South. People say, oh, it's matriarchal. No. It is matriarchal for a reason.
Because of the
respect that women have.
Yeah, because of the percentage of education.
Yeah, and I've been against women who take these awards, Best Woman Entrepreneur of the Year. Why? It should be the Best Entrepreneur of the Year. Why should you have gender segregation and gender isolation to suggest that, oh, ye discounted market mein, a woman has become the best entrepreneur? Why? So these are, look, this too shall pass. This will change.
Yes.
But we have to be dogged, we have to be didactic, and we have to be purposeful in making sure that we abolish these cobwebs of disdain and segregation with alacrity and with purpose.
Okay. Suhel, you have been watching the international policy shifts closely when it comes to Donald Trump's latest tariff moves. What are the real implications for Indian businesses and the global supply chains?
So I've said it before. I think it's the best thing Donald Trump could have done for India. Because it will A, awaken us, B, we will become a manufacturing hub as we should, and C, we will start innovating. Some stupid industrialists used to use the word jugaad. Jugaad is the worst thing that was imposed on India. Because jugaad is a byword for a shortcut. We need to become more innovative. There is no reason why a Satya Nadella or a Sundar Pichai in the US can guide AI or guide, programs, whereas we are just service providers. We have to exchange labor arbitrage for pure play innovation.
With the Trump's new immigration laws, the suspension of H-1B and the H-2B and J&L visas, how should Indian students and professionals and startups abroad read the change?
Three things. Number one, your geographies of attention should change. Screw America.
It's no
America
more
is
a
only
land
one
of
country.
opportunity.
America is only one country.
Yeah.
Number two, the people who are not going to go there and therefore staying back, you need to create an ecosystem which will respect their enormous talent or their intellect. Number three, we need to start building global Indian brands. We haven't built any global Indian brand other than the Taj. If you come to think of it,
Yes.
all the other brands, even the Tatas, Jaguar Land Rovers is an international brand. Now, with the changes I'm seeing at Air India, it'll be another global brand. But as long as we don't build global brands, we will always suffer. And I think it's a great wake-up call that Donald Trump has, without any intellect, inflicted on us.
Right. The advertising guru, man behind iconic campaigns for Fevicol, Cadbury, Vodafone, Asian Paints, Mr. Piyush Pandey recently passed away, and I believe you were paying a tribute to him today itself. How was your relationship with him?
I would say beyond brilliant. He was a true friend. Actually, friend is an abuse. I think he was family for me. We started work together in 1990, 35 years ago. I left advertising, went into marketing, finance, started my own agency, then quit advertising because tired of dealing with these stupid marketing directors and brand managers. But our friendship remained because we did a lot of work outside the realm of certain brands. And we worked on government projects. I remember I did the strategy paper for the National Skills Development Corporation. Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. And Piyush wrote the best line. And my strategy papers for Piyush were half a paragraph or one paragraph. Because an idea doesn't need an essay. You're not George Bernard Shaw. And he wrote this brilliant line called Hunar hai to fakr hai. Fakr hai, I don't want to say fucker hai, but fakr hai. And the whole logic was that whether you're a plumber or an electrician, your talent and your prowess must be respected. And that's why skills are important in this country, or in any country for that matter. Then what happened is, we set up home in Goa, Lakshmi and I. We had Gayatri, and our universe was Piyush and Neeta. And what both Lakshmi and I loved about Neeta was she is the ultimate dog lover. So, there were evenings in our home, and I was telling people at the Ogilvy Tribute today, where there would just be Lakshmi, me, Piyush and Neeta. We'd start drinking at about 7 p.m. and we'd finish at about 3:30, 4. And you wouldn't imagine the time had passed. And one evening, we had the legendary Mohammed Khan, another great advertising mind. And Mohammed and his wife were over at our home, Piyush, Neeta. And I remember a very senior advertising professional telling me, I wish I was a fly on the wall. Because that would have been an eclectic evening. But this is what we were. So Piyush and I would meet ever so often. 3 or 4 days before he went to hospital, he called me, partner, come in. I said 3rd of November. Not to be. But as I said today in my tribute to him, Piyush was a great advertising man, but he was an even greater humanist. And let me tell you, human qualities outweigh any other quality. So I will, and I told people today, I said, his death is sad, but it's also celebratory. Because while Piyush doesn't live with us, he lives in us. And that is the essential difference.
Do you think that our country would ever get another advertising guru?
Of course. See, I don't think that, you'll never get a Piyush Pandey.
Of course.
But why should you look for one? Like when Mr. Tata passed away on October 9, 2024, someone asked me, will we get another Ratan Tata? I said, why would you want another Ratan Tata?
Yeah.
And N. Chandrasekharan, after the terrible Air India crash, in an interview to Navika Kumar said, he says, look, I'm not J.R.D. Tata, I'm not Ratan Tata, but I will do my best to uphold the values on what the House of Tata was founded on. So from 1902 till now, there's an architecture of values that will be dear.
Do you think that the Tata Group will be able to carry forward the legacy what was created by Ratan
Absolutely.
Tata?
Absolutely. Ratan Tata carried forward JRD's legacy. JRD carried forward Dorab's legacy. Dorab carried forward Sir Ratan Tata's legacy. And Sir Ratan Tata carried forward Jamshedji Nasirwanji Tata's legacy. Look, Deepti, when you're in a group like that, there's a certain reverence. So, to my mind, that is what is happening in this India. We have such stellar groups. Look at what Mukesh Ambani has created. I mean, it is unimaginable for a single man to change the way India works, India thinks, India consumes. And I think people like Mukesh Ambani or Ratan Tata, we should actually count our blessings that they walked amidst us and they live amidst us. And I think that's what we should celebrate. Problem with India is we're like the goddamn communists. We have a problem for every solution. But we don't celebrate the good. We're always bloody whining. Ye theek nahi hai, wo theek nahi hai.
Always see the glass half empty rather than...
Or don't see a glass at all.
Okay. Indian classical music has such depth and has shaped our cultural roots. However, somehow the youngsters are not relating to the Indian classical music anymore. So do you think that classical music in India has become a lost art or something we respect but rarely listen to? Do you think that connectivity is no more with the young?
If you read today's Economic Times, there's a beautiful article on how the Baithaks and the Mehfils are back. See, आपके रग रग में music होना चाहिए. A, B. People don't understand that most of the Hindi songs that you're humming, whether old songs or recent songs, all have an Indian classical music bent of mind. And there are people. There's a gentleman called Omar Haider from Show House who just finished, and I took our 6-year-old child to it, Ragas by the River, whatever it's called. I think Malhar. And it was in Goa. It was sensational. Yeah. You had young children, you had adults, you had the really old. So there's no dearth of consumption. There is a dearth of people doing it. And I'm glad that people like Omar and, many others are doing this because we need to bring this back.
Yes.
I've written several articles on why Indian classical music needs to re-emerge. We've got to understand the amazing quality of Tumri that was the preserve of a Girija Devi, or the way Begum Akhtar sang, or the riyaz which Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab to himself. And there are amazing people. I remember when I was in ITC, someone asked me, will you, also do an extra job at no extra salary with SRA, with Sangeet Research Academy. And today, ITC is one of the few companies that continues to support the Sangeet Research Academy. And who has that produced? Ajoy Chakravarti. Girija Devi was the resident scholar there. And we used to go. But look, you have to have the interest. I can't force a Deepti saying, "Nahi, now come and listen." If you don't understand the evocative perspective of Bismillah Khan Sahab's Shehnai, to kya aap jiye?
True.
I'm sad that our people are losing the plot because of this goddamn Indian entertainment industry to which you also belong. I think it is the curse of the Indian film industry that has caused all this rubbish. Look at Gulzar Saab. Look at the poetry. I remember many years ago, my mother and I were sitting on our balcony. It was Diwali. And we were listening to the songs of marches. And I sent Gulzar Saab a text message. He's not on WhatsApp. I said, Gulzar Saab, माचिस के गाने सुन रहे हैं दिवाली की रात पे. You know what his reply was? माता जी को प्रणाम और दिए को माचिस दीजिए.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Where do you get all of this?
Beautiful. I remember doing an event with Gulzar Saab, and it was one of the best events of my life because he was at the podium and I was there at the podium. I just recited one of his lines and I invited him. And 1 hour of listening to his poetry was, I mean, I cannot forget that
I've
event.
launched all his books.
Yeah.
And, I've launched his books. We've spent hours together at various events. I mean, these are the people India should be celebrating.
Correct. आईना देखकर महसूस हुआ कि इस घर में हमें जानता है कोई. Beautiful. Are you ever been mistaken? Your outspoken behavior is mistaken for your arrogance. Does that happen with you?
Of course, and I don't care. I don't suffer fools. I'm not supposed to be popular with the whole world. I'm not a public figure. If you don't like me, good for you. I'm not asking you to like me. And I'm not interested in being popular because, you can either be popular or you can be honest. And you will always be misconstrued.
Yes.
भाई Jesus Christ was misconstrued, तो हम कौन सी खेत की मूली हैं? आप जो भी कहो, didn't Ram question Sita when she came back
Yes.
from Sri Lanka? That chap has questioned Sita. तो आप मेरे को क्वेश्चन करोगे, मैं कौन सी खेत की मूली हूँ? आप you don't like me, damn good. I'm not asking you to marry me yet.
Okay. I have a very interesting question for you. So, how do you think about leaving a legacy behind? What do you think? Like you just said, that Piyush Pandey will be remembered through his legacy. So, how about Suhel's legacy? What do you think?
I may be remembered for my arrogance, obnoxious behavior, controversies, couldn't give a shit. Good. I don't care. I won't be around.
But do you think about leaving your legacy behind through some, maybe some digital footprints or something?
Not at all. You want to see my interviews, see them. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen half the films I've acted in, so I really don't care. See, I'm not being, clever. But as you get to know me, I'm not actually interested. I do what I like. And I don't give a monkey's toss whether you like it or not. But I have to please myself. I'm not in the business to please you, your mother, your boyfriend, your lover, your macho six area. I don't care.
All right. Speaking about civic apathy, so people do not turn up to vote while they always complain about the social and the political issues and the situation of our country. Do you think that educated citizens often stay silent when civic responsibility is most needed?
So there are two things. I have never voted. But I don't want to be responsible for some stupid idiot coming to power and feel guilty about it. I haven't voted. Is it bad citizenship? Yeah. Kya kar loge? I haven't voted. I don't like voting. I don't like standing in a queue. I don't like some joker putting some stupid indelible ink on my finger. But I will raise my voice when there's a lack of governance, which I do. So to each his own. Remember one thing. Winston Churchill famously said, democracy is the worst form of government, but the only one we have. When he was talking about England. Democracy is a screwed up concept. And let me explain why. There is no such thing as universal or equal franchise. I pay my taxes. Some joker who doesn't pay taxes because of caste, creed, religion, social identity gets to vote people to power. I'm paying taxes. I'm getting screwed. These idiots are destroying a city, whether it's Gurugram, whatever it is. Why? So democracy, if you analyze democracy per se, my idea of democracy is slightly different. You must have democracy based on merit, but more importantly, democracy based on your citizenry contribution. Have a system where if you pay tax, you vote. If you don't pay taxes, you don't vote. Because in any case, you're screwing up the country by not having a stake. So where is this whole thing about democracy? So that's one. Number two, What democracy are you talking about? Get a poor person to lodge an FIR. The police will never do it. Try as a poor citizen of this country going to the judiciary to get relief. You will never get relief. You know, Amartya Sen wrote a brilliant non-economics book called The Idea of Justice, where he talks about Niti and Nyaya. He says Niti is process, Nyaya is justice, and ultimately justice is about fairness. It is not about going to the court. We don't have an understanding. Go back to, your scriptures. When Krishna is riding the chariot and Arjuna is standing on that chariot and they're going to war, Amartya Sen writes and argues very effectively saying, if Krishna were the God that we all believe he was, and he was, which God would have condoned death, destruction, orphans in the wake of war? So what kind of gods do we want? Now, I'm not saying agree with Amartya Sen or disagree with Amartya Sen. These are perspectives that should make us think. And as long as we avoid thinking about it, we're only doing ourselves and our intellect great disservice.
You mean to say you should question always?
Absolutely. Question without creating derision. You don't have to mock someone or make fun of people. You can question with civility, with intelligence, and with responsibility. Sometimes we question people without these three, and it becomes a war of negativity rather than a war of hope.
True. So, as someone who's spoken about civic standards, what role do individuals beyond the government play in better cities? Do you think that what is the role of individuals in building a better city?
Being better citizens, being better behaved, being more civil, by being sensitive to other people around you. You can't say, because I live in a fancy house, मैं कूड़ा अपने घर के बाहर फेंकूंगा. What kind of nonsense is this?
Correct.
Go to Delhi, go to Haryana, go to Gurugram. The richest people who will live there, outside the house, it's all fine. The service lanes are littered.
And how do you think these business leaders and brands engage in civic responsibilities?
They do.
Isn't it a CSR PR trap?
It is, but again, I've never used the word CSR. Mr. Tata hated the phrase. I think giving back to the community is more important than corporate social responsibility. It cannot be corporate social responsibility. It must be our social responsibility.
Individual social responsibility.
So volunteerism is better than CSR in that sense. If you and I, working in a company X, actually volunteer to be better citizens and prepare the ground for better citizenship, we're doing greater give back to the community than you and I can imagine.
So, what is that one civic wake-up call message to every Indian citizen that you'd like to give?
The next time you see someone litter, shoot him.
Yeah, even I feel so.
So there you are.
I think it should be fined heavily.
Fine nahi hai. Paisa sabke paas hai.
Execution. Capital
Well,
punishment.
now I can't say execution, but since you said it, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Deepti says people in India should be executed.
Yeah. I think even people who do any wrong to voiceless animals should be executed as well.
Brilliant.
I
Now
can
you'll
do
have an
that.
army of all these
I can do
dog
that.
haters who will pay for your blood.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to it. Okay, since I'm an entrepreneur myself, running a branding and marketing company, what are the 3 key strategies you would like to give and advise? Like 3 key strategies. Any company
How will you
or a
compensate me?
brand? Good question. What is the compensation?
No, I've asked you. This is the other beauty about us Indians. You ask an Indian, are you going to Bombay tomorrow? He will say, I've just come back from Coimbatore. No one answers the question.
Correct. No one answers the question. That's a way to evade. So,
I'll just say 3 simple things. Yeah, it's not that, we are the oracles of great, superior knowledge. I will just say, be true to yourself, be true to your clients, and be even truer to your consumers. Ultimately, success is measured only in one sentence, a good night's sleep. अगर आप घोड़े बेच के सोओगे ना, it means you haven't harmed someone willingly. Obviously, people will be pissed off. Even if they look at you, they'll say, oh my God, why is she wearing something and I'm wearing something so jhalla? To each their own.
Okay, time for some rapid fire questions.
Why does everyone copy
Have
Karan
rapid-
Johar,
No, it's
whose intellect again is so vast? But shoot.
okay. Tariff or talent? What builds a country's brand more?
Talent.
Classic music or cinema? What's the deeper cultural investment for
Classical
India?
music.
Walking or driving? What city behavior speaks louder of civic care?
Walking.
Immigration? A brain drain or a brain gain? What's the hemisphere India should focus on?
Brain gain.
Brand India, infrastructure or idea? What defines us in the next decade?
Idea. Because if you have a good idea, it will redefine infrastructure.
Last call. One word to leave our audience with.
Live.
Live happily, sleep
I don't know
peacefully.
about happily. Live. And it's different from exist. It's the same difference between listening and hearing. Hearing is non-cognitive. If you have ears, you will hear.
Yes, correct.
But if you really want to learn, you will listen.
Listen.
So my advice to you would be to live. Because even an amoeba exists. So live. Whether you want to live well, live poorly, that's up to you. Whether you want to live in, live out, up to you.
Thank you so much, Suhel, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. It was indeed a very insightful session, and some of the best controversies have been created today.
Thanks to you.
So,
A disclaimer, any FIRs, any police action should be taken against Deepti Sadhwani, and I can share her
thank you,
number.
Suhel. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. It was
Thank
so
you.
much fun. Thank you.
Thank you.